I was reading through this massive stack of post-game analysis from the Cannes Lion Festival, specifically looking at where the industry stands right now. And I stumbled across this phrase that just stopped me in my tracks.
Oh, yeah.
It was described as a golden era paradox.
A golden era paradox. That sounds ominous and probably expensive. Usually when people talk about golden eras in business, it means someone is making a lot of money. But paradox suggests there's a catch.
There's a massive catch. And it's the perfect place to start today because it explains that weird anxiety a lot of us are feeling.
Okay, lay it on me.
So here's the setup. On one hand, we are living in the absolute golden age of technology. I mean, truly.
Right. The tools are unbelievable.
We have AI tools that can generate infinite content. We have data on literally everything. And we have programmatic reach that, the Mad Men era ad execs would have sold their souls for.
Oh, absolutely. They couldn't have even dreamed of it.
We can make anything instantly for pennies on the dollar.
Technically speaking, yet the barriers to creation have completely collapsed.
Exactly.
Right.
But here is the paradox. The industry is exhausted. The people making the ads are burnt out, and the people seeing the ads, you, me, our listeners, we are just numb. It feels like we're all running on a treadmill that's going a little too fast.
Drowning in content, but starving for connection.
That's it. That's the perfect way to put it.
You've really hit on the central tension of the last few years. It's what Devika Bulchandani, the CEO of Ogilvy, was getting at when she spoke at Cannes. She said that in this golden era of technology, the only thing that actually sets you apart anymore is creativity.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the problem is, the old model of creativity, the one where we just fight a war of attrition for attention, is completely and utterly broken.
A war of attrition. That's such a violent way to describe marketing, but it feels so accurate.
It is, isn't it?
It's like brands are just throwing stuff at the wall, hoping something sticks before they run out of money, or, frankly, we run out of patience.
Precisely. It's a volume game. If people ignore you, shout louder. If they block your ad, you just retarget them on a different platform. But that exhaustion on both sides is leading to a massive pivot. We aren't just seeing a change in the ads themselves, we're seeing a change in how the industry even scores itself.
And that, right there, brings us to the big news. The thing that's coming in 2026.
Exactly. The 2026 Cannes Lion.
Right. And this is where things get really interesting for anyone trying to understand where business is actually going. They aren't just adding another category for, best TikTok dance or best use of a cat video.
No, nothing like that. This is structural. They're introducing something called the Creative Brand Lion.
The Creative Brand Lion.
I really cannot stress enough how much of a fundamental shift this is. Historically, Cannes and the marketing world in general has always judged the output.
The output, meaning the final product, the thing we see.
Exactly. Did you make a funny video? Did you make a poster that made people cry? Did you write a clever headline? If you did, great, here is your trophy.
It's like judging a restaurant solely on one plate of food that comes out of the kitchen.
That's a great analogy. Okay, this one dish was amazing, but what if the kitchen is on fire? The Creative Brand Lion doesn't care about that one-off hit. It cares about the input.
The input. So, the kitchen itself?
Yes. The kitchen. It rewards the brand's internal systems, their culture, their capabilities. It asks, have you built a company, a system, where world-class creativity is inevitable and repeatable?
Or did you just get lucky once because you hired a freelance director who happened to have one good idea?
That is the core question. It's a huge difference.
That is a huge difference. It's like the difference between giving an award to a guy who caught one big fish versus giving an award to the guy who built a sustainable ecosystem where the fish thrive and reproduce year after year.
That is a surprisingly good analogy, and it comes at a time when CEOs are terrified of becoming one-hit wonders in an AI world.
Right, because AI can generate 1 million one-hit wonders in an afternoon.
Exactly. Simon Cook, the CEO of Lions, was very clear about this. He noted that this award is about commercial creativity thriving amidst economic uncertainty. It's about the sustainability of the brand, not just a momentary spike in sales from one viral video.
Okay, so if the goal is no longer just make a viral hit, but build a creative engine, how do you actually do that? Because that sounds great in a boardroom PowerPoint presentation,
Right.
But what does it look like on a Tuesday afternoon when you're just trying to sell soap or cars?
And that is the mission of this entire deep dive. We're going to look at a roadmap for this new era, we found a really fascinating framework from a group called Kinship. It's known as the Flick model.
Flick. F-L-I-C-K.
Correct. And the whole premise of Flick is that we are moving from a consumption model, how do I get you to buy this thing, to a kinship model.
A kinship model.
Yeah. How do I get you to feel like we are family?
Family. That's a pretty bold word for a brand relationship. I like my coffee brand, but I don't think I'm inviting it to Thanksgiving dinner.
It is bold. But when you look at the recent winners from Cannes, and we're going to talk about brands like Vaseline, Dove, Skoda, they are essentially doing just that. They are stopping the shouting match and starting a bonding process. They are moving from selling to bonding.
Okay, I definitely want to get into F-L-I-C-K. But before we break down the acronym step by step, I really need to understand the landscape a bit better. Why is this shift happening right now? Is it just because of AI? Or is there something bigger going on?
AI is the massive accelerant. It's the gasoline on the fire. You look at the WPP reports coming out of the 2025 festival. The whole theme was standing out in the age of AI.
I remember that.
Back in 2024, the conversation was all, how do we use AI? Everyone was excited about efficiency, speed, cost cutting.
A honeymoon phase.
Totally. But by 2025 and looking ahead to 2026, the conversation became, oh no, there is too much AI.
Oh no, we automated ourselves into a corner.
Exactly. Content has become infinite and, let's be honest, pretty generic. If everyone uses the same AI tools, everything starts to look and sound the same. It's a sea of sameness.
And you can't stand out in a sea of sameness.
You can't. WPP's CEO, Mark Reed, pointed this out. He said clients are coming to them to build enduring brands because when everything is automated, the premium on things like trust and human insight skyrockets.
So if a robot can write the copy and generate the image, the human connection becomes the luxury item. It becomes the only real differentiator.
Yes. And this creates a huge structural problem, particularly for large organizations, and especially in places like Japan, where this is a big topic. Most companies are built in silos.
Oh yeah, the dreaded silos.
You have the PR department over here protecting the corporate reputation. You have the advertising people over there trying to win awards. You have the digital team in the basement optimizing click-through rates.
And they never talk to each other.
Or if they do, they're fighting over budget. But to build the kind of unified human experience that the creative brand lion wants to reward, you have to break those silos down.
Because a human relationship isn't siloed, right? You don't have a PR relationship with your spouse and a separate advertising relationship. It's all just one thing.
It's all one thing. You can't have your PR department saying one thing about sustainability while your ads are pushing disposable junk. It has to be a single, coherent organism. The Creative Brand Lion is essentially an award for organizational coherence.
Which brings us right back to FICK. Because if you want to act like a single organism that treats a customer like family, you need a different playbook than just buy.
Right. So let's look at the old model versus this new model. The Kinship transcript analyzes this brilliantly. They talk about the mass marketing era, which was all about aspiration.
Put a movie star on TV and say, be like him.
Exactly. The golden age of TV, very top down. Then we had the enclosure era or retention era, which is basically, well, stalking people on social media.
The war of attrition again, just constant notifications.
Yes. Constant pings, look at me, don't forget about us.
Yeah.
It just leads to corporate burnout and consumer annoyance. The FLICK model proposes something different, a concept of flow. It's designed for what they call the era of the heart.
The era of the heart. I like that. It sounds, I don't know, softer, but I have a feeling it's actually a lot harder to execute properly.
It's much harder. So let's walk through the steps. FLICK.
Okay.
It stands for feeling, love, inspire, care, and kinship. And it's a progression. You don't just jump to kinship. You have to earn your way there.
All right, let's start at the beginning then. The very first step. F is for feeling.
Right, and this isn't feeling in some vague hippie sense. It's very specific. In the old attention model, you shouted to get someone to look at you.
Make a loud noise.
In the feeling model, you whisper, I understand you.
So it's about empathy, not volume.
It's about validation. It's creating what they call the tiny realization that a brand actually gets what you are going through. It's not about selling the product immediately. It's about validating the user's anxiety or their problem. The reaction you want is, huh, this brand gets me.
Do we have a real-world example? Because I understand you is something that's very easy to say, but very hard to actually do convincingly.
The perfect example and a huge con winner is Vaseline. Specifically, the Vaseline Verified campaign by Ogilvy and Mindshare. This won a Titanium Lion, which is, the award for truly game-changing work.
Vaseline, the stuff in the blue and white jar in the back of my medicine cabinet that I only use when I have chapped lips.
The very same. So here is the context. If you go on TikTok or Instagram, there is a massive skincare trend called slugging.
Oh, I've seen this. It looks incredibly messy.
It is. It's basically slathering your face in petroleum jelly before bed. You end up looking like a slug, hence the name.
Right.
But because it's the internet, there was a ton of misinformation flying around. It causes acne, it's dangerous for your skin, it'll clog your pores, it kills brain cells, whatever random fear people could invent.
Classic internet medical advice.
Yeah.
Now, the old way of marketing the attention way would have been for Vaseline to run a shiny Super Bowl ad with a celebrity saying, Vaseline is great and it's safe, buy it now.
Right. Just try to shout over all the noise, drown out the misinformation with a bigger budget.
Instead, they used the feeling approach. They recognized the anxiety their users were feeling. They didn't just sell lotion, they took on the mission of fixing the internet's bad advice.
So they addressed the problem, not just the product.
Right, precisely.
Yeah.
They created a whole scientific validation narrative. They enlisted actual dermatologists and scientists to become content creators, going onto TikTok and Instagram to debunk the myths one by one, explaining the science in a simple way.
So they didn't say buy Vaseline. They said, we see you're confused and maybe a little scared about your skin, and we're going to help you figure it out. Exactly. And that creates the feeling, the reaction from you, the consumer, isn't, oh, a product. It's, oh, this brand gets me. They are on my side. That is the foundation. You have to validate their reality before you ever try to sell them a solution.
I love that. It's so much quieter, but it feels so much stronger. It builds an actual foundation of trust. Okay, so we have feeling. The next step is L is for love.
And this is about moving from I'm interested to I'm attached. Love, in this framework, means the brand becomes a true partner in your life. It becomes part of your ritual.
Like my morning coffee. I don't just, like it. I kind of need it. It's a part of my day. It's emotional safety.
Exactly. And the challenge with love is keeping it alive when the world changes around you. And the best case study here is Dove.
Of course, the Real Beauty campaign.
They have spent 20 years building love through that platform. We all know the campaign showing real women, not professional models.
It's iconic. I mean, it basically defined ethical advertising for an entire generation. It created so much goodwill.
A huge amount. But then comes 2025 and the explosion of generative AI.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the internet is flooded with AI-generated women who look, well, completely impossible.
Right. Perfect skin, perfect proportions, lighting that doesn't exist in the real world. A whole new, more powerful threat to self-esteem.
Exactly. So the love the brand has built is now threatened. The partner Dove might seem outdated or irrelevant against this new tidal wave of AI perfection.
Or worse, if Dove started using those same AI models to save money, it would feel like a complete betrayal of everything they stood for.
A total betrayal. So what did they do? They launched Real Beauty Redefined for the AI era. They didn't fight AI, they decided to hack it.
Hacked it. How do you hack AI?
Well, they created a playbook to retrain AI prompts. They found that if you type a beautiful woman into an image generator, it usually shows a very strong bias toward a certain kind of hyper-perfection.
Sure. Young, thin, probably white.
Usually. So Dove worked to change that output. They released guides and prompt toolkits on how to prompt for real beauty, for diverse skin tones, different body shapes, a range of ages. They taught people how to use the tool to create a more inclusive vision of beauty.
That is absolutely brilliant. They used the very tool that was threatening their core mission to actually reinforce it.
And that's how you deepen love. It shows consistency. The consumer thinks, even when new technology tries to make me feel bad about myself, this brand is still fighting for me. That deepens the attachment. They are a steadfast partner in your life.
So feeling is the introduction. You validate my anxiety. Love is a relationship. You show consistency over time. But let's be honest, relationships can get boring. Even the good ones.
They absolutely do. And that brings us to the third letter, I for inspire.
Right. The text we looked at mentions preventing the rut. And there's a Japanese term used here that I found fascinating, numaru, which translates to falling into a swamp.
Yes, numaru. In Japanese pop culture slang, numaru means to get completely bogged down in an obsession, to be totally immersed, to fall into the swamp of fandom. But in a good way.
Like when you discover a new band and you just have to listen to every single album they've ever made in like 3 days.
I've been there. You've been there. You want the customer to fall into that swamp of engagement with you.
Okay, I got it.
To keep a relationship from getting stale, or what the Japanese call menori, which means getting into a rut, you need stimulation. You need to surprise the user. The report calls this the ascent of the absurd.
Ascent of the absurd. That sounds like a philosophy lecture, but I have a feeling it involves something a little bit crazy.
It does. The best example of this, hands down, is Mondelez with their Cadbury 5-star bar in India. The campaign was called Erase Valentine's Day.
Erase Valentine's Day. That sounds like a plot from a supervillain.
It basically was. So Cadbury 5-star's whole brand ethos is do nothing. It's the candy bar for chilling out, for taking a break. Now, Valentine's Day is the absolute opposite of chilling out.
Oh, it's peak stress.
Yeah.
It's pressure. It's expensive dinners. It's forced romance.
It is the most stressful day of the year for a lot of people, especially if you're single or if you just hate the commercialism of it all.
Which is a lot of people.
A lot of people. So they targeted people who hate Valentine's Day, and they had this insane, brilliant idea. They realized that if you cross the international date line in the Pacific Ocean at just the right time, you can technically skip an entire day. You can jump from February 13th straight to the 15th.
No way. You're kidding.
I am not. They chartered a ship, a real ship. They called it the time travel ship. They filled it with people who wanted to escape the holiday, and they sailed across the date line so that February 14th literally never happened for them.
That is completely insane. That is the definition of absurd.
But think about it from the Inspire Magic. If you are a fan of the Slacker candy bar, this isn't just an ad. This is a story you tell all your friends for years. Do you hear what my favorite candy bar did? They literally erased a day of the week.
It provides that jolt of novelty. It breaks the boredom. It makes you think, I have no idea what they're going to do next, but I can't wait to see it.
It's not just functional, it's entertainment. The brand becomes the jester in your life.
Or the adventure.
Or the adventurer. It provides stimulation. Another really quick example is Mercado Libre, the e-commerce platform partnering with the game Call of Duty.
Good.
They found that Gen Z was obsessed with a game mode where you can hide by disguising yourself as everyday objects, like a cardboard box or a floor lamp.
Oh, Prop Hunt. I've played it. You run around as a potted plant, trying not to get shot by soldiers. It's ridiculous.
It is. So Mercado Libre turned those in-game props into discount codes. If you found the lamp prop in the game, you could scan it and get a discount on a real lamp on their website.
That's a treasure hunt. That's amazing.
Exactly. It creates such high stimulation. It transforms a mundane activity shopping for a lamp into a thrilling game. That is Inspire. It keeps the user deep in the swamp of engagement.
I love that. Okay, so we are feeling understood, we are in love with the consistency, and now we are inspired by the fun. That brings us to C for care.
And this is where we pivot from brand to the masses, toward brand to the individual. Care is all about personal recognition.
So how is this different from, say, just good customer service? Because every company on earth claims they care about their customers.
Customer service is usually reactive. My product broke, please fix it, or I have a complaint. Care, in the FLICK model, is proactive and personal. It's I know who you are and I value you.
It's the difference between a waiter just taking your order and a waiter saying, welcome back, would you like the usual?
That's the perfect analogy. And this is where AI comes back into the picture in a positive way. Because you can't have a human waiter for 50 million customers.
Right. It's impossible to scale that personal touch.
It used to be. We looked at an ArcSIF paper on generative AI as part of this deep dive, and it talks about how AI can be used to generate surprise and value by understanding a conceptual space. In plain English, AI now allows brands to scale intimacy.
Scale intimacy. That sounds like a total oxymoron.
It absolutely used to be. But now, all that data allows a brand to not just target you with a generic ad, but to truly treat you, to send a message that acknowledges your specific history, your specific tastes, not in a creepy way, but in a genuinely helpful way. The FLCK model emphasizes that care isn't just about functional satisfaction, it's about emotional validation. They value me as an individual.
So it's using that whole creative brand lion system, the internal data capability, to make each individual person feel special and seen.
Yes, and if you do that right, You finally unlock the final and most difficult level, K for kinship.
The Destiny community. That sounds very grand.
It is the ultimate goal. In this stage, something really crucial happens. The brand steps back from the spotlight.
It steps back after all that work.
Yes. In the attention era, the brand is on stage with a microphone shouting at the audience. In the kinship era, the brand builds the theater, opens the doors, and lets the fans get on stage and have their own conversations.
So it shifts from brand talking to consumer talking to consumer.
With the brand acting as a facilitator, not a dictator, the vibe becomes, we are family.
We are in this together.
Right. And the fans start to defend the brand. The fans grow the community themselves. The best example of this, and frankly one of the bravest campaigns I have ever seen, is Skoda and their Reddit campaign.
Skoda, the car company, and Reddit. That sounds like walking directly into a lion's den. Reddit is not known for being kind to brands that show up uninvited.
It is notoriously hostile to marketing. If you go on Reddit and try to sell something, you will get absolutely destroyed in the comments. But Skoda noticed there was already a community of fans there, a subreddit dedicated to their cars. But instead of buying banner ads or trying to astroturf the conversation...
AstroTurf, what's that?
That's when a company creates a bunch of fake accounts to pretend to be happy customers. It's fake grassroots. It's very deceptive.
Got it. And it never works, by the way. People always find out.
They always do. Skoda didn't do that. They did something radical. They showed up and let the Redditors design the next campaign.
They just handed over the keys.
They handed over the keys. They acknowledged the community's inside jokes. They admitted that the fans knew more about what made the car cool or uncool than the marketing department did. They treated the fans as the experts.
That takes a lot of confidence. Or maybe a lot of humility.
I think it takes both. And that is the absolute essence of kinship. By admitting the fans knew better, Skoda became one of us rather than one of them, the big, faceless corporate entity. And the result wasn't just sales, it was deep, profound trust. The fans felt ownership, they were the brand.
You know, it reminds me of what you said right at the beginning about the creative brand line. It judges the internal culture. You can't fake kinship. If your internal culture is arrogant and top-down, you can't just go on Reddit and pretend to be humble. You'll get eaten alive.
You'll be exposed in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that ties it all back to the 2026 paradigm shift. The creative brand lion is trying to find and reward companies that have the internal bravery and the cultural humility to let go of control.
So let's try to summarize this roadmap, because our listeners are probably sitting here thinking, okay, this is great, but I have a campaign launching next month. What do I actually do with all this?
Well, if you want to win in 2026 and not just win awards, but actually win in business, you have to stop thinking about the ad and start thinking about the relationship flow.
The FLICK flow.
Right. So the new brief for a creative director isn't just what is the video, it's a series of bigger questions.
How does this create a feeling of understanding? Are we solving a real anxiety, like Vaseline did? Or are we just shouting about a new feature?
Okay.
Number 2, how do we prevent boredom? That's inspire. Are we taking a ship across the date line, or are we just running another 20% off sale?
Right. Are we creating a story or just a transaction?
And finally, number 3, how do we hand ownership to the fans? That's kinship. Are we brave enough to let Reddit run the show for a week?
And this requires breaking those silos we talked about. You can't do the Reddit thing if your legal team, your PR team, and your social team aren't all sitting at the same table, trusting each other.
That is exactly what the creative brand lion evaluates. It evaluates the health of the organism. It asks if you have built a system where these departments talk to each other to create a single, unified human voice.
I love that. It makes marketing feel less like a war and more like, well, like building a community. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on the final outro point from our notes. There is a pretty stark warning in the angle shift transcript.
Yes, the burden of kinship.
It sounds heavy.
It is. Because if you succeed in this, if you actually manage to go through the FLICK model and create a true family, you have to realize what that means. You are no longer just a vendor.
What's the difference?
If a vendor makes a mistake, you get a refund. If a family member betrays you, you get a divorce. You get genuine heartbreak.
So the backlash, when it comes, is personal. It's not commercial.
We see this all the time when beloved brands change a formula, or they take a political stance that alienates their core audience, or they sell out to a bigger company that doesn't share their values. The anger isn't just, oh, I'll buy something else. It's emotional. It's, I trusted you. I thought you were one of us.
So the real question for brands is, are you actually ready to carry the weight of being loved?
That's the final provocation. Everyone wants to be loved, but not everyone wants the immense responsibility that comes with it.
That is a lot to chew on, from the golden era paradox all the way to the creative brand lion to the entire FLICK model. It really feels like the industry is being forced to grow up. It's moving from being the loud, obnoxious guy at the party to being the friend you actually want to hang out with.
And in a world filled with AI noise, being a genuine friend is probably the only way left to be heard.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. As a final thought for all of you listening, take a look at your own projects. Are you building a single one-off campaign? Or are you building a line or a real long-term relationship?
A great question to end on.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you in the next deep dive.